With the official price drop of the PSVR 2, Sony also showed trailers of 11 more games that we hadn't seen before. To introduce that collection was the Dark Pictures Switchback VR, and after the trailer, it was really hard to focus on anything else. The potential was immediately apparent, and this should be the game that we all have on our must-buy list when the new PSVR 2 comes out. Here's why. First, Supermassive Games has already had success in the VR realm with Tumble VR, Bravo Team, and maybe although to a lesser extent, the Impatient, but the crowning jewel of their PSVR success was Until Dawn Rush of Blood. Releasing in October of 2016, Rush of Blood was one of the first PSVR games folks could play, and it left an immediate and lasting mark on the horror genre. The on-rail shooter had everything that makes horror VR special: darkness, unsettling environments, dynamic gameplay, and the perfect mix of jump scares and spooky antagonists like clowns, zombies, animals, etc. If you haven't played Rush of Blood, you need to play it now, because this is the sole reason I am so excited for Switchback VR. This looks like a spiritual successor to Rush of Blood, with similar looking formats, environments, and structure. Rush of Blood still to this day, 6 years later, has staying power as a PSVR powerhouse and a game that I'd boot up any day. Imagine a similar experience with the utilization of the PSVR 2 technology. Because this is a PSVR 2 exclusive, I completely expect implementation of the haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, better resolution, 3D audio, and everything that the PSVR 2 has to offer. And let's just be honest, the Move controllers they weren't very good. Iconic, yes, for better or worse. Good, no. Better controllers and tracking alone will increase the enjoyment and the immersion greatly. So in the trailer of Switchback VR, we aren't given too much, but we know it includes an original plot, similar gameplay with fast shooting and cramped, busy, and horrific stages. We see creatures scurrying afoot, strange human-like creatures floating all about, buses being thrown around, and complete chaos throughout the entire trailer. The most notable thing I see in the trailer is how fast the gameplay is. Many times during Rush of Blood, you are creeping by, but the entire trailer here, you are flying through the stage, which is going to set up scenarios for intense adrenaline spikes. Now, let's take a peek at the PlayStation Store description of Switchback VR. So first, Switchback VR will take players on a multi-sensory ride on a sinister roller coaster from hell, survive the horrifying ghost ship and its distorted apparitions, confront hideous demonic incarnations of persecuted witches in the 17th century New England, fight for your life against otherworldly vampires trapped beneath the desert, escape the horrifying World's Fair Hotel with a sadistic serial killer out for blood, and discover how your story connects these worlds, the dark pictures, and makes sense of the nightmare that is Switchback. So this gives you some insight on what to expect plot-wise, and if you are a fan of the dark pictures in general, this is incredible news, as the characters and stories will clearly be intertwined in some degree. But here's more, and here's what I'm really excited about. Don't blink. Use eye tracking. Your enemies are upon you in the blink of an eye. Hold on tight. Endure every bump and drop as your cart speeds along the tracks, with haptic feedback bringing that roller coaster feeling to life. Feel the tension. Adaptive triggers make each weapon feel unique as you unload on terrifying enemies that emerge from the shadows. Mind your head. Avoid falling beams, overturned buses, and hanging witches. Headset rumble ensures that you'll feel it if you don't. Plus, 4K HDR and 3 audio supported. Now, if that doesn't excite you, you need to check your pulse. The implementation of this tech should lead to an unforgettable experience, and so far, most of the PSVR 2 revealed games have really more questions than answers, but it's comforting to have a known studio who has experience in this exact situation leading the way. I can tell you that the Dark Pictures Switchback VR will be a day one purchase, and quite possibly the very first game I boot up for my new system. Just be sure to also buy an extra pair of undies along with that headset.